Andrew had a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do. So my question is actually, I was thinking about this as we were having kind of our discussion back and forth with the two Christians on the panel. Just wondering, do you think that it's more effective for you to give your testimony in your gospel, or would it be more effective for us to politically try to outlaw OnlyFans and pornography? Which thing do you think would be more effective in society?
I think people sin no matter what. So, to be honest, testimony, people are going to do what they want, whether they look at porn on the, black web, whatever. There's all types of ways. But, of course, putting it into law wouldn't hurt. It obviously would restrict more people from doing it. But at the same time, people are going to find ways around it. And I think your testimony is way more powerful because it's going to change people's hearts rather than force
Well, if there was
somebody.
a law tomorrow which outlawed pornography and prostitution,
it's not going to change their hearts. It might restrict
them. Do you
them.
think that would have more of an effect than whatever your testimony is going to be?
No, because laws stop you from doing things, but it doesn't change your heart about it. Just like if they said no smoking cigarettes and they banned that, you would probably still find a
but they've
cigarette.
banned it all over the place, and you can see the massive reduction in cigarette smoking because of all of the bans on cigarette smoking. In fact, it's one of the things that you can track the easiest because it's basically dropped like a rock due to all of the stigma. Due to all the stigma against cigarette smoking and all of the bans and all the price hikes and things like this, you've actually seen the behavior modified through social stigma where it's not even, in some company, it's not even appropriate anymore. So that seems to have worked pretty well.
People vape a lot too now. Vaping is like the new cigarette smoking.
Yeah, well, what you've noticed is that stigmas are rising against that as well. And so you'll see that behavior curtailed as well. The question is how much of your energy is actually spent moving against the industry itself and trying to shut it down?
I think changing the heart is where change happens. It's not going to be by a law. So I think we stand on the power of our testimony. And even with Jesus, like he changed people with their hearts and his testimonies and all he did and the miracles, which is us being here, being miracles, that we don't live that life anymore, that we have peace for the first time in our lives, that we aren't addicted to things, that we are complete with Jesus. And that is way more life-changing than any other law that you can put into
So let's
place.
say for a second, if this is the case, the President of the United States has an address which he can make. His choice for the first address is that he can say, I've put in policy outlawing pornography across the board, period, including sex work. Or he can air your testimony. Which one would you recommend he do?
People will find, if there's a will, there's a way, especially when it comes to sexual sin.
Answer the question.
These questions.
The question, yeah. Do you want me to repeat the question?
No, I think my testimony, to be honest.
Your testimony, of course.
People
and
will
do you
hide
think that might be a tinge narcissistic?
No, because Jesus, we are the power. Like us speaking our testimony it has more weight than a law.
So I actually use both and. I've teamed up with Exodus Cry to try to end teen porn. And by teen porn, I mean 18, 19. We're trying to change the age to 21 to even be able to enter into pornography. I would love to see pornography canceled in totality. Absolutely. I don't think that there should be any disagreement on that end. And I also use
but which is more effective, though?
What's more effective? I think that laws in place would be extremely effective, and I do fight for that. But I understand what she's saying, that it's not going to actually change someone's heart to have laws in play. It might actually, because it may influence people if they see, everything's permissible, but not everything's beneficial, right? And so if pornography is permissible, then people that are not believers in Jesus, sadly, even Christians watch porn. So, but if it's permissible, then people are going to think that it's also beneficial. So if we can cancel porn and get it off the internet and cancel OnlyFans, there may actually be a rise of people that go, wow, maybe this is bad for me. But then there are also going to be people who are going to hop on the dark web.
Yeah, but the thing is we don't curtail behavior in society which we don't like because some people might do it anyway. That seems like an absurd argument.
And I'm not saying that. I would love to see it shut down, and I'm actually actively working on that with Exodus Cry.
I know.
Okay,
I think
so
informa-
shut down all pornography across the board, period.
I think that'd be amazing.
Okay,
Even
and
in-
what do you think the penalty should be for people who continue to engage in prostitution, even if a law came in? If you had to put a penalty on it, what should happen to a woman who engages in prostitution, do you think?
I've actually talked to the Daily Wire about that, and I do believe it's somewhat of a case-by-case basis, only because there are some women who are being trafficked and are forced to do what they're doing.
I'm not talking about force. I'm talking about women who are doing it willingly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be illegal, and what should be a great course of action? I don't know, maybe some jail time?
Yeah, prison? Like 2 years? What about a 2-year minimal sentence?
So I know that in Portugal, one of the things they did is they actually put their laws down for drugs and things like that, but they went around giving clean needles, talking to people, and their drug and crime, all that went down because they were educating people instead
Yeah, they
of
tried that in
forcing
San
them.
Francisco too. They gave them clean needles and everything else, and now there's literally scat on the street and dirty needles all over the place. So that didn't seem like it was very effective there.